If you have a sweet tooth that won't quit, keto is perfect for you because we can bake our own treats and they are so good. I have a secret recipe for you today, my biscotti. And in fact, I went looking for it and could hardly believe that I never recorded it. So it's my secret biscotti recipe. I was keeping it a secret from everyone. Hi, welcome back to Keto Over 50. I'm RJ. Let's get started. This recipe is super easy and the results are splendid. If you have a sweet tooth, this is the one for you. Here we are. I love this recipe for a lot of reasons. First of all, everything goes in one bowl, my very favorite. Second of all, I think all the measurements are a half cup, or a cup and a half, so that I am not dirtying up half the stuff in the kitchen. So that's my primary concern, is not making a mess. If you've seen me work, then you know you could appreciate that, right? Okay, so I've got 2 eggs and a half a cup of, or not a half, a half a cup, 8 tablespoons of butter, a whole stick. In this little cup, I have a teaspoon of baking powder and a teaspoon of xanthan gum and just under a half a teaspoon of salt. I have 2 tablespoons of egg white protein powder, unflavored. You could use whey if you want to, but I really like this. Let me tell you something about these biscotti. They are so good and they're very low net carb, which when you taste it, you're not even going to believe it. You have to try this. It is my very favorite recipe. I really can't believe I haven't filmed it yet. So buckle up, Buttercup. It's about to get delicious in here. Okay, now I use half and half white sweetener, and I'm using allulose, and half brown sweetener, also allulose. You're not going to believe, this is so easy. Now, I also like to add a teaspoon of almond extract. It just adds so much to the fragrance and the flavor. And of course, a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I think the brown sweetener really makes these taste a lot like original Toll House cookies. And it's just, trust me, if you have a sweet tooth, you have to make this. You will not believe it. Okay, and this is a cup and a half of super fine almond flour. We're just going to blend that in slowly so it doesn't go everywhere. Okay, it seemed just a little too wet, so I added 2 more tablespoons of almond flour. I'm so excited to share this with you. Seriously, it's just one of my very favorite go-tos, and I almost always have it in the house, along with my chocolate chip cookies. I have such a sweet tooth. That's why I like keto so much, because if you're willing to bake, you have no limits. You can make cheesecake and these wonderful recipes. Okay, now here I have a half a cup of chocolate chips and a half a cup of white chocolate chips. And those are, I have to tell you, I changed to Chalk Zero baking chips, dark baking chips, and gosh, I love them so much more. And I still had some white chips from the other brand I use, so I'm using those up. And then a half a cup of sliced toasted almonds. Toasting them, just like with pine nuts or any other nut, pecans, it just brings out so much more warmth. And they're just lightly toasted. And I found it's very easy to do this in the air fryer. I take out the rack and I just put them in there and I watch them very closely. So that's it. Okay, I think it's time to stir them in instead of beating them in. Oh, RJ, you knew that. You're supposed to stir these in with a spatula or, oh my goodness. So you're just going to want to fold them in. I forgot I don't need to use my beaters to do this, to just fold them in this way. And you see it goes beautifully. That's it. Is this the easiest mix you've ever seen? Wet, dry, boom, 1 bowl, half cup, teaspoons, tablespoons. That's about it. If I had to name something that was challenging about this recipe, it's that you cook it 3 times. You bake it 3 times. That's how the biscotti gets so crisp. So it's super easy. You cook it, you take it out, let it cool a little bit, slice it, and then bake it again, and then bring it out and flip them over a second time. So every side gets cooked. and crispy. That's it. These are as easy as they are delicious. Now what did I do? I'm trying to think and do things at the same time. Oh my goodness. Okay. All you want to do is spread it out into about a 6x9 rectangle. And it's a thicker dough because I added that little extra bit of almond flour. So it's a little thicker. It's a consistency similar to a cookie dough, like Toll House cookies, something like that. They taste a lot like Toll House cookies too. You're going to end up cutting this into 14 slices, but when you see after the first bake, it's going to spread out quite a bit. And so I don't count it as 14 servings. When it comes out and I slice it, I also slice it down the middle. So that makes 28 cookies if I get 14 slices. It may not seem possible looking at it here raw, but I'm telling you, this is one of the easiest recipes ever. I love easy. I love delicious. And this is one of my very favorite recipes. I didn't mean to keep it secret from you all this time. So let's put this in the oven. At my oven, I put at 330. So you really have to do your homework. Don't do it at 350. That's too much. This is for a long, slow bake. Let's go. The first bake is for 30 minutes. So I have 30 minutes at 330. I'm going to take it out, let it cool enough so I can touch it, and I'm going to slice it. And I found one of the easiest ways to slice it is with a pizza wheel. And then we'll put it back in for 15 minutes. We'll turn everything over, put it back in for 15 minutes and bring it out and flip them over on the other side and do it for 10 minutes more. You are not going to believe this. It's so good. And they freeze up really well. So I put about a dozen of them in the food saver bag in the freezer. And then when I'm on my last biscotti, I go to the freezer and I have relief because I have more biscotti ready to go. First round is done. I'm so excited. Oh gosh, look at this. I'm going to move that out of the way so I can work here. Oh, it's so beautiful. Look at how big it got and how brown it got. This end looks a little burned. So sometimes when I do this and I slice them, I rearrange them and I take the lesser baked part and put that more to the edges. This is going to make a perfect 14 slices. So 28 cookies. Well, I cut 2 of them a little too thick. I'm not using a tape measure. I'm using my eyes to try and get this into 14 slices. It won't matter because I'm going to slice them lengthwise too. So I'm going to make some of these a little thinner, but you get the idea. Someone commented that the white chocolate chips disappear. They do and they don't. They melt. So you have this chocolate halo of white chocolate that tastes like marshmallows. It's so good. I would not choose to not use them because they disappear. They're very delicate. But the dark chocolate chips, they are so good. And I really like the Chalk Zero much better than the other ones that I was buying. They have purer ingredients. Let me just put it that way. Now, when you cut this, sometimes those almond slices can create a little disturbance. You know, because you're trying to cut into, it's like a pepperoni on a pizza. You're trying to cut into it and it doesn't kind of want to go and your wheel isn't sharp enough to really just cut it in half. So it'll move things around. That's why you're seeing some of these lines look a little rugged. I wanted to wash off my pizza wheel one more time before continuing. What do I have? 1, 2. Okay, well, I'm going to end up with 13 instead of 14 probably. And 12, 13. Okay, so I have 13. This guy in the end is too fat. You know, never beat yourself up. You could cut these into like coffee tea size, you know, little mini biscotti. But I think right down the middle is the way to go. You can tell there's an almond there. Look at that. He's destroying my slice. I'm going to let him stay. You know, maybe next time I'll try cutting the almonds a little bit more. Chop them up a little bit. Okay. Oh, there's another guy. They are kind of destructive when it comes to slicing this, but they are delicious. And now I'm using a knife for this next part. You could use a spatula. You could use hot. You could use a spatula if you wanted to, but I really want something relatively narrow because what we're going to do is flip them over. And like I said, I'm going to take the more brown parts and put them in the center and put the lighter parts on the outside edges. Okay, so you can see how those cut. You know, this is such an easy recipe. You can do this. You just need to tend the oven because they're going to go back in now. As soon as I do this to all of them, they're going to go back in. Oh, look at that. It looks like a wonderful Toll House cookie. They taste even better than that. They really do. These are so good. Oh, I'm so excited to share this with you. So we turn them over and you can see they're still a little bit soft on the inside. You want them to be crispy when you're all done. You know, I do think I'm going to chop up my almonds next time. They're just slices. An almond is just trying to turn that guy over now. I never knew they were so belligerent. And I did turn my oven back down to 325 when I saw how dark this one was. These are going to go back in for 15 minutes. Okay, second bake is done. Okay, now you can... I don't do well when I'm rushing. Now you can see they look very similar as they did after the first bake. We're going to let them cool enough so that I can handle them. You don't want to burn your hands while you're doing this. I've cleaned my knife so I can flip everything over. And this time I'm going to put them on a side. So they've baked on the bottom, they've baked on the top. Now we're going to move them over to the side so that they can get nice and crispy. But I have to let them cool for 5 or 10 minutes till I can handle them. and we'll get going and put them in for the final 10-minute bake. And these are going to just blow your socks off. These are so good. My secret biscotti recipe. I hope you'll try it. They're cool enough to handle delicately. Okay, here we go. Look at this. Oh gosh, I can't wait for you to try these. They're so easy. Oh, they're just gorgeous. Okay, so now I'm going to put them back in the oven. It's really important to let them cool down between baking 10 minutes, just so they're cool. It helps them to dry out and become the really great crispy biscotti. I'm so excited to share this with you. They're done. Look at that. How beautiful. What I say, we have 26 cookies. These are amazing. That went really fast, didn't it? Oh my goodness. Look at these. Oh gosh. I'm going to let them cool and then I'm going to put them into a beautiful canister and put them in the fridge so that they will stay nice and fresh for a long time. And then I will freeze half of them. Look at this. They're so gorgeous. Even the little end pieces are beautiful. Is that gorgeous? These are one of my absolute favorite treats on keto. And I have to have them in the house all the time because they're so good. My sweet tooth is so bad. That's how I knew keto was for me, because I don't mind having to bake my own treats if they're this good. And these are so good. They're just delicious. They have the texture. They have the flavor. They have the chocolate. You got to have chocolate. And then the brown sugar, the brown allulose sweetener just takes you back to when you were a child and you ate Toll House cookies. These are so good. If you have a real sweet tooth that won't quit, this is the answer. This is the solution you've been looking for. These biscotti are incredible. This is going to become one of your very favorite recipes of all time. They're insanely good. They're divine. The recipe is below in the description, along with the macros. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you being here. This is RJ for Keto Over 50. Stay beautiful, because you know you are.